Hey guys, welcome back to another week of what's for dinner. So first we are making some chicken and rice. I'm going to be using my crock pot and my Instant Pot. So in my crock pot right now, I've got about 2 cups of chicken broth. And then I'm going to add some of the Nor bouillon that I like to use for chicken broth. And I'm just going to mix that in together. I've got a can of cream of chicken. And I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken to this. I just used 3 chicken breasts. You can use however much that your family likes. And then I'm just going to cook this on low for about 4 or 5 hours, just until the chicken is done and tender. About 30 minutes before the chicken was done, I went ahead and added some broccoli just to the crock pot to let it get good and soft. You can see that it's no longer that bright green color, which is what I was looking for because I did not want big chunks of broccoli in ours. I wanted it to kind of shred along with the chicken. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the chicken from the crock pot and shred it with a fork. I like shredding it with a fork when I want like bigger pieces of chicken. So that is what I'm doing here. Normally, if I would want like smaller pieces of chicken, I would use my hand mixer. So I'm gonna go ahead and shred this, add this back to the crock pot and just let it warm back up, soak in all of those juices. And then we will make some rice in the Instant Pot. I can leave the recipe that I use link down below for you, but it is super easy and it's definitely a foolproof recipe for rice in the Instant Pot, and we absolutely love it. Now that my rice is done in the Instant Pot, I'm simply just going to add it to the crock pot, mix everything together, and add some cheese to it, and then it is done. I did think about adding it to a casserole dish and just baking it in the oven, but then I was like, you know, I'm not putting any cheese on top, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about dirtying another dish. So I just left it in the crock pot and we just served it like this with some dinner rolls. And let me tell you, this was absolutely delicious. So simple, but so good. And I ate it for lunch for like 4 days. It was so good. So I'm definitely going to be making my chicken and rice like this from now on. I have been known to use just like the Nor sides, but I feel like using real rice just makes it so much better and it elevates the dish just so much. So we served this with some deviled eggs and broccoli salad that I had made a little bit before. And like I said, this was absolutely delicious. So next I'm going to work on some potatoes. You will see a couple times in this video that we love these little gemstone potatoes. I'm just going to put some oil on them and season with some this French fry seasoning that I got from the Dollar Tree. It has salt and everything in it that you would need. And then I added a little bit of paprika. And then I just wanted a little bit more flavor, so I went ahead and used the ranch seasoning as well. Just going to mix that all together, and then we're going to put this on a parchment-lined cookie sheet or sheet pan, whatever you want to call it. And you do want to take the time to turn these over and make sure that they are skin side down. They will turn out so much crispier this way. It is kind of a tedious project, but I promise taking the time to do it is well worth it. And then we're going to go ahead and cook this in an oven at 400 for about 20 minutes. I always put mine on the bottom rack because I feel like it gets them crispier. So that's just a little tip from me to you, but you can do what you want. And 400 for 20 minutes is usually a pretty good sweet spot for us. So then I got these brioche slider buns from the bakery. I really thought they were cut, but they were not. So I had to cut them myself. And I'm just going to use a foil pan, and we're going to put the bottom in it. And then I have some pulled chicken from Lloyd's. I just picked this up at the store. And we're just going to put the chicken on the bottom and then put some cheese on top. Totally optional. You don't have to if you don't want to. But so this chicken, I remember it being so much better when I was a kid. I've not actually bought it in my adulthood, but I feel like it's okay if you need something quick, but I probably will not be buying it again. I'll just make my own. But it was fine for a quick and easy dinner weeknight. But I did have to pick out some questionable pieces. But my husband liked this. My kids liked it. I didn't really care for it, but I feel like sliders is such like an easy dinner. You can use pretty much any variant that you want, and it's the same cooking method. So anyway, I'm just going to put the meat on the bottom, add some cheese, and I'm going to cook this with my potatoes. I'm just going to cover it with some aluminum foil. I do add some butter to the top of the buns as well, just to kind of get them crispy. But yeah, we're just going to cover this and bake it for about 15 minutes at 400 with the potatoes, and it will turn out just fine. Okay, so here's what my plate looked like when it was all done. Those potatoes look delicious, and we served it with a side of baked beans. So I just chopped up some more of those potatoes, and I am seasoning with some oil. And then I have the seasoning blend that I made by myself. It's just onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and a little bit of parsley. And I'm just seasoning my potatoes with that, just mixing them all together. But I am making one of my absolute favorite meals, and it's super easy, and it's also pretty healthy. But it is just potatoes with a bunch of veggies, and then I'm going to make some chicken. So basically, I'm just cooking my potatoes like I did before. It's definitely my favorite way to do it. And I do put my potatoes on a separate sheet pan than I do my veggies, just because you want to make sure that your potatoes aren't overcrowded or they will not get done. So I'm just going to take the time and turn them all over on my parchment paper again, just to make sure that they get crispy in the oven. Here is where you can really customize what you want on them. I really love doing mushrooms, and then I decided to do broccoli this time. I've got an onion and some peppers, but basically you can do whatever veggies that you want. If you like green beans, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, whatever you want to do, you can customize whatever you want. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. I'm just going to chop these up and make them all uniform sizes so they cook evenly. And I'm going to put these on a sheet pan, season the same way that I did the potatoes. And I'm going to cook these, or roast, whatever, in the oven, 400 for about 25 minutes. And when it gets closer to time to be done, I do put my vegetables on the bottom rack, and I just flip-flop my potatoes and put them on the top so that my veggies can get roasted like my potatoes. I hope that makes sense. I want them to be like crispy kind of after they've cooked. I don't know if that makes sense, but I know what I mean. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do here. And then I actually did marinate some chicken earlier today. I like getting the McCormick Grill Mates seasoning packets. And I just followed the directions on the package and I just let it marinate through the whole day. So here in this skillet, I just have a little bit of butter. I'm just going to cook my chicken breast until it's done. I do use a meat thermometer, but I like doing it in butter because it gives this beautiful little coating on it, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, here's what everything looks like when it came out. This was such a delicious meal. We love doing this, and you can use smoked sausage as well. I've been known to do that, but yeah, we just served this with some homemade ranch, and that is going to be it for today's What's for Dinner. Hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.